Hello, my name is Dylan Holt, and today I'm going to be talking about artificial intelligence and smart weapons. Now, in order to understand why smart weapons are important currently, it's important to understand where autonomous weapons began. And this is actually where it began with anti personnel mines. Now, why are these a problem? And why have they been such a cause of concern in the past? Well, it's because that they tried to make warfare autonomous by just putting these weight displacement devices all over the ground and hoping that the enemy army would stand on them and blow themselves up. Now, the problem with that is that it wasn't always the other army that stepped on them, it was people, just common citizens, and they'd end up killing themselves or blowing off limbs. So there was a huge uproar, and things like Geneva Convention were started, and this specific law, the International Humanitarian Law. Now, what is this? This is basically stating that a human needs to give the kill shot, basically. Is that in order for someone to actually pull the trigger or something to kill someone, there needs to be human interaction in that. Now, does every nation follow that? No, but there are basic guidelines of what someone's supposed to follow. Now, that in a nutshell basically says what's wrong with autonomous warfare right now, in the same sense that you don't want self-driving cars because it could potentially run off the road and kill you. In the same way, it's even more dangerous with autonomous warfare. Now, one of the first examples of autonomous warfare that we have now is the moving target artillery round. Now, why I found this interesting is because it's relatable back to our Maven case study or reading, and with Google doing drone data integration, and it's able to actually tell artillery rounds to redirect midair and hit moving targets. Or if there's an adjustment, it's able to make that last second adjustment using a red dot sight, which can actually be initiated by a drone. So potentially Google can be part of that red dot sight initiative. Another example of this is the Extreme Accuracy Tasked Ordnance. Now, this is a small arms munition, so it's just a bullet that can actually do similar things to what the artillery round has done and redirect itself midair to hit a moving target. Now, this seems nice, being able to hit the target that you want to hit every time and having a smart bullet be able to do it for you. But what makes this, I feel, bad is that there's now no difference between extremely weathered and important marksman and just your average shooter who goes out and pulls the trigger. Anyone can hit it. So if there are bullets like this, who's to say assassination attempts, anyone can just go out and be a perfect marksman with no training, which has causes for concern. And this picture goes to show that they actually ran tests and showed that expert marksman and an average person could have very similar shots when it comes to redirecting the bullet, and that's all due to the smart bullet. Now, another example of smart autonomous style warfare is this weapon here, usually put on things like aircraft or other naval ships, and it has the ability to autonomously track oncoming attacks. So from artillery rounds, missiles, things like that, it can actually track, find the target, and shoot it down before it actually comes in and kills you or your boat or blows it up or kills anyone. So it has the potential to be a defensive mechanism. Similar is the Iron Dome. Now this is an autonomous targeting. It has autonomous targeting capabilities similar to the last example. And the system is designed as well to shoot down rockets and artillery shells. So both of these examples goes to show that there are actually autonomous style defensive weaponry. So who's to say that there can't actually be autonomous style offensive weaponry? And that's what I'm going to show now. And this is really just to show where the field is going and what we should be concerned with. Now, this offensive style warfare can be shown in the Protector M151, or just the whole Protector class. You can go online right now and find hundreds of examples of vehicles that are armed with similar things like this, either scaled back a little bit, smaller guns, or scaled up all the way to autonomously styled artillery rounds. And the only thing that makes them not autonomous right now and being able to target things right now, because they can track, they can do things like that, find targets, as you can see with the camera in the front. The only thing stopping them right now is that they're remotely controlled from individuals, as we see here in the slide, looking like they're playing video games. But really, no one has to be behind that gun to start killing people. And it can potentially be autonomous now, but the only thing holding them back is certain legislation being placed and exactly what they're going to be doing with autonomous style warfare. So just take this for example. We have now, as a public, autonomously driving cars. And I've shown you many examples of autonomously firing weapons that are used for defensive purposes. Now, the military being one of the most cost, like the most money goes into the military, who's to say that they can't use autonomous driving vehicles with the autonomous attacking weaponry, put those together and make whole armies of just robots, basically. So we're in an interesting place as as a people where we need to write good laws and come to a good understanding of exactly what it is that we're going to do with autonomous style warfare. Because we're coming to a point now where there's really no looking back. It's either we're going to make it legal or we're not. And we need to make a choice. So thank you very much.